Pankaj has also joined, and I think we have around 15 participants, so we are good to start. I'll just check if our recording has already started. Sadia?
Yes, recording has already started. Sorry. Yes.
No problem. Thank you. Yeah. So, hi everyone, good evening. Yet another weekend with us. And let me just share my screen. Yeah, so to start with, we have a reflection spot for you. We want you to scan this QR code and or go to menti.com with this menti code and answer the question, how confident do you feel about your understanding of the three learning modules so far? So you can mention if you are understanding the concepts well, you can mention very confident, somewhat confident, neutral to very unclear. So please go ahead and vote for one of these things. Alicia, will you let me know if most of them are done with answering this?
Yes. You want me to access the Mentimeter, or how do you want me to
No, no, just everyone can just
raise of hands?
yeah, raise of hands or
Okay.
a thumbs up or a some smile.
Okay, yes. Kind request to the participants, please raise your hands once you're done.
Or we can wait at the results page. Yeah. If anyone still wants to do, I can show the QR code here. Okay, so there's only one who is very confident about and understands the concept well. There are six who are somewhat confident. Okay, three who are neutral, zero who are somewhat unclear, and zero with very unclear. This is good. Um, yeah, we'll wait on this page for one more minute. Okay, so the gist is there are majority of you who somewhat who understand most of the parts but need more clarity on some parts. Okay, thank you. We have a follow-up question. Since you need some clarity on some topics, what specific topics or concept do you need more guidance on? Can you tell us your response? I'll also put the QR code here so that you guys are able to use the same screen to scan. Actually, it's the same code. You just have to refresh your menti.com page and you'll find this question now. You can talk about module 1 if you found something very difficult, module 2 or module 3. You can keep these three modules. Don't give us module wise feedback because that will be too abstract for us. Tell us specific concepts or topics or videos or learning extensions or anything that you find unclear or need more guidance on, or any topic of your choice. That is also okay at this point. We'll use this slide to answer your questions towards the end.
I think we have only view access there. I couldn't submit response.
Oh, you couldn't submit response. Okay.
Please correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe
Yeah,
other people are able to do it.
I'll try. Yeah, I'm able to answer now. I think I had to refresh my screen. Are you able to do it now?
Yes, I got it now.
Okay. Quantitative analysis, methodology, validation of our idea, data collection, second assignment, fourth and sixth question. Okay. Qualitative analysis. Whoever wrote qualitative and quantitative analysis, could you write something more specific? What exactly in qualitative and quantitative analysis? Or at least think about it so that when we come to the slide, we'll get to talk about it more.
Hi, this is Rajshekhar. A quantitative analysis. I'm yet to get that link to the
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's a
because we
huge
don't have that
file.
access, so I couldn't yet
Yeah,
go through
yeah.
that content. That's it. Apart
I
from that,
understand. I understand. We'll be sharing it immediately. It's uploading on YouTube, and as soon as it's done, we'll share it. Sorry, it took some time for us to process the file. Yeah, module 3, so the entire module 3. So, whoever is writing quantitative module 3 and all these things, we would request you to make it a little more specific. Maybe not here, but towards the end when we answer your questions.
Also, this is in regard of the person who has written second assignment, fourth and sixth question. I'm going through the assignment worksheet actually. I cannot find something as specific to a fourth or a sixth question. So, can you please in the chat box write to us what you exactly have confusion with? I will help you resolve that.
Okay, thanks, Alicia. Okay, so we'll get back to this. We have around 12 responses, and I think, but only 6 people answered. Okay. Um, what we have accomplished so far, we have 31 LBD submissions and assignment one submissions we received around 27. Your assignments are under evaluation. You'll receive the feedback within a few days. And assignment 2, we have received only 13 submissions so far. Um, and yeah, please submit assignment 2 as soon as possible. So plans for this week: submit assignment 2 by 2nd April latest. We have also uploaded assignment 3. We have enabled the link to submit your idea proposal part 2. This is where you'll be talking more about your solution, and this is an important part of your idea proposal. So please go through that template and try to submit it by 10th of April. Yes, attempt quizzes and submit assignment 3 by, sorry, not assignment 3, attempt quizzes by 6th of April. And we'll have another live session on 6th of April, 6 to 7 p.m., where we'll be mapping you with the research buddies. But we'll be informing you about this again because we have received very few idea submissions, and very few research buddies have engaged with your ideas. So we'll be trying to maximize this interaction in this week and trying to map you as soon as possible. But if we are not able to do this, we'll consider this week as an extension to our learning module, and will be help. This will be an extended time to go through this the learning material on Moodle, and also we'll be also clearing your doubt on 6th of April. So we'll let you know the plan on 6th. Yeah, so hopefully. Yeah, so this is the feedback we received for qualitative analysis. We received very good feedback for Dr. Navneet Kaur's session, and there is a request for additional OER learning resources, and I want to inform you that we have already put some additional reading material on Moodle. So if you'll be able to access it now. We updated it 2 to 3 days ago. So if you're looking for more learning resources to read about qualitative analysis, we have some suggestions for you. You can look it up on Moodle. And yeah, there was a question about light to be thrown on qualitative tools used to do analysis. I think Navneet has not joined us yet. I'm not sure if she'll be able to. But yeah, we'll come back to this question once she's here. And the third one is, can you provide workbook or sample data to practice for both qualitative and quantitative research analysis? Okay. Um, we want to provide you with sample data to practice, but will you be able to submit this on time? And we don't have, the bandwidth to assess your submissions. So I think the best sample data here to practice will be your own data, which you'll be collecting this month. So whoever wrote this comment, please reach out to us in person, and maybe we'll help you identify a few resources where you can practice a few things on your qualitative and quantitative analysis. Yeah, so this is the feedback we've received for quantitative analysis. So Pankaj is here. Pankaj.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
Yeah, so Pankaj, you received very good feedback for your session on 27th, and there's a request to consider organizing ANOVA and COVA and all this um, different techniques using Jamovi. Um, okay.
Shall I respond to that, or you want me to respond later? I,
Yeah.
I I'm okay responding later as well. I mean, you just finish this once and then I'll
Yeah,
share my
so
response.
I just want to say that you can respond to this question, but I also want to add that we'll float maybe a poll wherein we'll see how many participants are interested in understanding or an extension of quantitative analysis, and then based on that, we can create a session if needed. And based on Pankaj's availability and other quantitative analysis experts in our department. So yeah, that's my response. Pankaj, you can go ahead and answer this question.
Yeah, I think that's what exactly I was saying. So it depends on how many people are interested. That is one, and second also availability, because time we also need to see like what exactly the requirement is, because like covering all these things will take a lot of time, right? So we can't cover all the statistical tests that are mentioned here or anyways whatever are there, right? So maybe specific requirements if they are there, like this is a kind of study I'm doing, and maybe this is what I'm trying to do, and if you need some feedback on that, that I would be happy to provide it. Like you are doing a kind of study and then you say this is what my variables are, this is how I'm planning for it, and what kind of analysis might be more relevant here. So I think that kind of support could be provided, but covering all the tests and I mean that will take a lot of time. So I'm not sure whether we have like bandwidth to do that.
Yeah, yeah. I would echo the same, and yeah, we do have some more resources that we are planning to put as LXT on Moodle. So please, apologies for not putting up this video of quantitative analysis and the assessment questions, and also the LXTs. We'll be doing it by the end of the day or latest by tomorrow, and you should be able to go through the content hopefully. And yeah. I think there are no muddy points as such. We did not receive any muddy point, but requests for more data, more reading materials, more sessions, etc. And there was a lot of positive feedback we received, which we are really, what do you call? we're really happy to receive the feedback because I know my team works very hard, and receiving your positive feedback means a lot to us. So thank you very much. We also want you to grow, submit your assignments, and so that we are able to help you with a very good idea proposal and study planning template, so that you can go ahead, collect data, do analysis, and write a good paper, receive good feedback. So we want your entire path to paper publication to be very smooth. So I hope you are able to keep this up. So thanks a lot for your positive feedback. Yeah. So I think that's all from our side. If you have any specific questions, Pankaj is here, Alicia and I, we both are here. So you can ask your questions, just unmute your mics or use the chat feature to post your question and we'll answer. Um, Anyone would like to go?
Yeah, I'm Marina. Hi, Romana and team.
Hi, Marina.
Yeah, so like as Pankaj just mentioned, I think this clarification would be needed a little bit later once we are crystal clear about our research idea and how we are processing it. So I think these doubts will probably come up a little while later, once we finalize these things. So I think what kind of processing we need to go ahead with, whether it is ANOVA, ONO, or whatever it is, I think
Yeah.
these doubts will probably crop a little bit later. So probably we need to we need to help a little later, maybe.
I agree, I agree, I agree. Meanwhile, if you have any muddy points or some questions regarding your, so you've been thinking about your study plans and your research idea a lot now. I mean, from the beginning, it has shaped to come to a shape where you can talk about it more confidently. So, do you need any help, or are you fine? I mean, do you have any roadblock that's stopping you, or any question about one of the modules or anything? Just yeah, I mean, you can ask here. We'll wait for 2 more minutes, and if not, we'll drop off. It's okay. We can meet next week. I'm sure we'll have
Hi
something.
Romana, this is Gauri.
Hi, Gauri.
So I enrolled in the course last week, and but I'm not able to see the assignments and quizzes and the material. So I'm not sure whether I'm enrolled in the course or not. I would like if I get any help.
Okay, okay. So, okay, Gauri, you can ping Sadia about this. You know our communication manager, Sadia. Have you?
Yeah, yeah. She
Yeah.
even helped me to I was being late a little bit. She helped me to enroll in the PRISm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, okay. So you're not able to see the resources. I think it's just a matter of some technical. You'll be able to see the resources. I'll ask Sadia to help you find these resources, and if you need more help about it, you can also ping one of us.
Thank you, Romana.
Yeah. Mansi, you were saying something.
Hi, Romana.
I
I just want to know that when will we be getting the mapping of the research buddies and the practitioners?
Yeah, so we were hoping research buddies would, comment on your research ideas by this week, but we have not received very good enthusiastic response this week. So we are trying to change our strategy. Maybe this week, hopefully, we'll be able to get some mapping, and we'll let you know by 6th of April, and if not 6th of April, then latest by 14th April, 17th or 14th of April.
Actually, I myself was out of this particular thing. I joined late and I was not aware that, okay, how it is working. Right now, I got the realistic idea. Okay, now we need to assess the things in the Moodle in this particular way.
You're a research buddy or a learner? I'm
I'm a
sorry.
research I'm a research buddy here.
Oh, you're a research
I
buddy. Okay, 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 okay. Okay, Mansi. I think yeah, during the orientation and also when we created the WhatsApp group, we had mentioned to research buddies that you need to go through Moodle learning resources, and specifically this discussion forum where learners have shared their research ideas. So you need to go through the research ideas and comment on the ideas that you feel more aligned with, so that we are able to map you with learners who are and so that learners can obviously use your help and expertise to refine their ideas. So please do this activity. If any research buddies in the meeting, I would request them to go through the discussion forum and reply to the posts created by learners if you're interested in their learning, in their research idea.
Okay, thank you, Romana. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Okay. Marina, you want to add something?
Yeah, I just wanted to ask Romana if we can get some like kind of inputs from the research buddies like in this week, even though it's not allotted officially, so that because we the semester comes to an end, so if we are having engineering students to take our do our study on, like I think within this another 3 weeks the semesters actually come to an end. So we may find it a little difficult if it's getting delayed. So if at least a little bit of thoughts can be put into it, even though officially you're not allotting, would give us some idea, like whether we are on the right track or something of that sort.
So Marina will be assessing your idea proposals and study plans. You'll get some feedback from the instructors. So one level of feedback you'll receive, and we'll also try to speed up the research buddy mapping process, because we know April is a crucial time for you all, and May is very difficult to find participants. So we understand your concern. We'll try to speed this up.
Yes, okay, thank
And
you, Romana.
yeah. Any other question, concern? Pankaj is also here. Questions for Pankaj.
Hi, Romana.
Hi, Priya.
Yes, I am concerned also same Marina. So only I in Tamil Nadu, I want to take some data collections from in Tamil Nadu state. The end semester, the start I think 2 weeks after the exam starts. So these 2 weeks to want to go and then data collection, and then before that creating some survey questions, and then I want to take in my survey questions which is what the workfulness or not. So only I want to expect discussing with me research buddy.
Okay. Okay, Priya. I think whoever has posted their idea at least will make sure that we find research buddies for you all. So we'll try to do it in this week. Yeah.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah, and you'll also receive some feedback from us. I already mentioned that too. That will also help you.
Okay, okay. Thank you.
Also, I think there are three more assignments remaining. Assignment three, which was released, I think, in the morning today, and two more that will be released. We'll release it early so that you have at least an idea what kind of questions we are asking and what kind of instruments and all, basically things that you need to think about in your idea and your study planning. So we'll post the assignment soon, and we'll also find your research buddy. Okay. Yeah. I don't think we have any other question.
So if there are no questions, I have a suggestion, because some people were asking about like more sessions, and I think one specific comment of all these different tests. So maybe you can also think of how you can leverage ChatGPT as your learning buddy, because from there, I think if you just keep on asking questions, and I'm sure you'll get a lot of insights, right? And you can ask like, can you explain this simply with a very simple example? So definitely it would help, because I also use it when I prepare content. I try to get some kind of feedback in terms of like what kind of data can be used and what kind of test. So maybe try it out. If that helps, great. If that doesn't help, definitely, like Romana said, we would be happy to provide feedback and suggestions at times whenever you need it. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's it from my end.
I agree, Pankaj. I agree. Leverage generative AI to help you understand more, specific to your research idea. And also, we are there always. And also, use discussion forum and also WhatsApp to discuss some of these techniques if you want to discuss. I'm sure you'll find some learning buddy in the group. Yeah, there's a question from Shravanti. The question, Pankaj, is I have a question related to quantitative data collection in online classrooms and offline classroom. What kind of data can be collected for good outcome? As I've missed the online interaction class with Pankaj, sir. Okay. So, Shravanti, can you talk a little bit about your research idea so that we can all think about it? Okay.
Yeah, can
Yeah,
you hear
sure.
me, Romana?
Yes, yes, I can hear you.
Yes. So actually, the thing is that I was my research area I kept on the discussion is that measuring the student engagement level in both online and offline for a better understanding. So, which platform is better to suggest that?
Okay, okay.
So for that, I was collecting some data. I have gone with module 2 also,
Okay.
few classes. Based on that, I have gone with some idea. But I'm not getting what to be done in a process to get the good outcome. When we are taking the data of all the related to LMS data,
Okay.
so what can be the good work?
Okay. Pankaj, do you want to take this question?
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, thanks for your question. So actually, the first thing is what data type and what study design has to be there and what tools has to be used. So first thing is depends on the research question. Okay, so I'm just assuming some research question where you are trying to investigate and understand student engagement in different contexts. So one context is online set. I mean, one setting is online, another setting is offline, right? So if engagement is the construct that you are looking at, then first thing is you should look at some literature and first try to understand how we can operationalize engagement. So let's say, for example, in online setting, whether time spent on a particular activity can be operationalized as engagement, or across different activities, the continuity of it, and how many activities the student has completed in what time. So whether that can be called as engagement, right? So the way you define engagement and the way you kind of come up with this is a measure of engagement will depend upon what exactly you are trying to achieve, right? So your RQ will tell you this is the construct. So engagement is the construct. So are you looking at like their behavioral engagement, the activities, actions that they do, or when they work on a task, what kind of things they are doing? So that is more of like cognitive engagement, right? Or are you looking at how do they feel? Then that goes towards more of like emotional engagement. So first thing, I think the first and foremost what you can do is you can first look at what exactly engagement in your context, what is it that you are trying to measure, and then you can identify whether the clickstream data or whatever click data you have, actions data you have, log data you have, can you operationalize that to come up with a measure of engagement in online setting? And similarly, for these different dimensions I just mentioned, offline data collection, if you want to do, there are different ways to do it. So there are some self-report surveys. There are some tools called as experience sampling methodologies, where it's like a random kind of event happens and you ask students, how do you feel now, and they talk about are they finding it engaging or not, right? So there are different ways in which it can be done. So first thing is, if you provide clarity, some clarity on, okay, this is what the context is, this is why I want to understand engagement, and this is how I can define it, or maybe we can help you in defining that further, like how it can be done. But I think literature on engagement and related constructs will help you more, is what I think. I hope that helps. If not, please ask some follow-up questions and I would definitely try to address that.
So actually, what the thing is that I'm collecting the data of all the three categories based on the clicks, I mean behavior, and how the process, the emotions. At the same time, the cognitive analysis also. Based on these three characteristics, I want to justify what is the student's engagement level to decrease the dropout rate actually.
Okay. I think it's. I got a fair idea of what exactly you're trying to do. But like I said, maybe look out for some literature and try to understand if click data is something that you are trying to use. In what ways click data has been used to measure engagement? Once you understand that, you'll be in a better position to design your data capturing mechanism. Does that help?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, so there are various ways. You can also, as Pankaj mentioned, you can look at behavior, cognitive, affective, all these three different channels. And if you have the bandwidth, you can also look for some multimodal data as well. So, if you have submitted your study planning assignment, you'll also receive some one-on-one feedback from us. So, I would also recommend you to submit your assignment, Shravanti, if you haven't. So, we'll also give you some detailed feedback about this.
Sure, sure. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Is there any other question?
Yeah, yes, Rumana, I want to know how do we get individual help during framing the questionnaire or during analyzing the data? So, do we have any mode that individually within the week we can post somewhere that this is the thing we are working and uh, we need help? So, shall we post it openly on the discussion forum, or individually we can contact, okay, we need data analysis, so we can contact this particular team. We need to get help in the designing of the questionnaire, so we can contact this particular
Thank you, Mansi. Use the forum liberally. I mean, ask questions and use the discussion forum, the WhatsApp group for any PRISm related activity. So you're very highly encouraged to use any mode of communication to talk to us. Regarding the feasibility of your questionnaire and analysis and everything, I think when you'll do the assignments, you will receive a lot of feedback about. You'll receive a lot of feedback about. Sorry, give me a minute. Yeah. Yeah, so you'll receive a lot of feedback about why you are creating this questionnaire. I mean, do you have any existing questionnaire that you can use? Because when you create your own questionnaire, you have to answer that the questionnaire is valid and reliable. And so, most of the times, what we recommend is go for a validated instrument that has been used in existing research studies. So that sort of feedback you'll receive in the assignment. So I think you are a research buddy, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So you're also writing a paper of your own.
Yes.
Okay, and you okay, okay. So I think Mansi, what I would suggest is post your questions on the group, and we'll whenever we find time, we'll take up your question and we'll try to answer, and we'll definitely need more details to answer your question.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But about one-on-one feedback, I think your feedback is where learner is dependent on. And if research buddy needs any help, you can definitely just post in the group full of research buddies or the common WhatsApp group that we have. I'm sure someone or the other will be able to help you. Or if not, we are there.
Okay. Thank you, Romana.
Yeah.
I think, Romana, there is a question in chat by Marina.
Is there more credibility for trace data over survey data? Okay. Depends. Um, Trace data and survey data are two different things. Trace data kind of captures the process, maybe how you have interacted, what activities you accessed, and or what behavior you displayed over time. Survey data is mostly self-reported, and so if your research question is such that wherein you are trying to look for what learners perception is about, over there maybe survey data is more has more credibility probably than trace data. I think there is no best method. It all depends on your research question. Pankaj, do you want to add something?
Yeah, I think you rightly said it. So the thing is, it depends on the purpose. So if you want to kind of understand and measure behaviors, maybe trace data would be more credible. But if you want to understand, let's say, emotions and perceptions, beliefs, like Romana said, in that case, survey data would be better, right? So it all depends on what exactly you are trying to achieve. So maybe in one case, you would like to go ahead with trace data because it is more objective in its sense, in its own sense. But the problem could be then you might not be able to ascribe any reasons to it. So what you have is, okay, students did A, B, C, another student did PQR, but then you don't know why ABC and why PQR. So trace data would not give you that sense of reason behind that, right? So in that sense, if you want to understand all of it, in that case, maybe credibility of trace data might be little on a lower side, right? But if you combine it with survey, and then let's say you have these patterns in place, and you have certain patterns which are identified from trace data, you use it to ask participants or the students what exactly you are doing, right? So if you do that, then you combine basically two different data sources. So in that case, both of them will give you even better credibility as compared to using either of them, because self-report also has its own challenges. It can be biased. There could be kind of lack of self-report. Some people might just randomly click on few things. So validated reliability issues are there as well. So maybe the best thing to do is combine it so that you get behaviors, you get perceptions, and together you get a better understanding of what is exactly happening.
I agree with Pankaj. Also, if you're working with novice learners, they are not the best. Um, they're not the best. They don't have the best judgment of their knowledge. Sometimes they may overshoot, and most of the time, not most of the time. Some of the times we have found that their perception data did not match with their performance or their trace data. Also, Marina, since I've already talked to you in the beginning about your research idea, I think you're also talking from a perspective of self-regulated learning. So when you talk about self-regulated learning, there are, and especially metacognition, there are two kind of metacognition. One is the knowledge about your cognition, that okay, I know that I have so and so prior knowledge. I know that, if I take this test, I will pass. I know that, or organizing as a strategy works for me well. So this is some knowledge about your cognition, which is also metacognition. This can be captured well using survey data. But if you're talking about regulation of cognition, that is more on the fly. It happens in the task. At that particular point of time, trace data is the best way to capture it. So like for example, given a learning task, learner is doing something. What is the learner currently doing? The learner is reading the statement, problem statement. Then you, after some time, you find that the learner is rereading the problem statement. So rereading is a low level metacognitive strategy that the learner is using in order to understand that problem well. After that, the learner is maybe writing down the steps that he or she wants to attempt. So this sort of shows kind of goal setting, planning. So this is captured best using trace data. So in your context, it depends on your research question again. Do you want to measure knowledge of cognition or regulation of cognition? And if you have any other context, then maybe you can ask similar question about it.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Romana, for that. Yeah, I was just looking into the interplay of these three things, knowledge and experience and the strategy part. So when it comes to strategy, it's like a regulating those strategy steps. So whether the student has actually gone through those right skill set to come to a conclusive answer. So like, I mean, trace data, unless you have a tool to do it, it's not probably feasible.
Yeah.
So that is one constraint. And the second thing is that, yeah, maybe think aloud. Can it be replaced for instead?
Yeah, definitely. I think think aloud is a very good. You just use a paper pen and think aloud and capture the entire interaction for a few learners. So maybe you can capture, survey questions for a huge class and some very thick qualitative data like think aloud. Think alouds are also very difficult to implement and transcribe and do all that analysis. So you can design a small activity where you conduct this learning strategy to capture learning strategies as well, and see if there is any strong correlation between these two variables that you have captured using two different instruments. Same variable, the two different instruments. Yeah. So you'll see some. If there is, you'll see some strong alignment. That will only make your research study stronger.
Right, right. Okay. And when a think aloud is done, are we like I mean, audio recording the student, or how is it like, I mean, how is the procedure, like how it's done?
Yeah. So if you are using a laptop for any research study or to collect log data, you record the screen capture along with the voiceover. I mean the think aloud of learners. So that's the best way. And to see where the learner is on the screen, what activity, what part the learner is on, along with the voice. We have also used some very low level eye tracking devices used for normal gaming, hardly 10, 20,000 rupees, to see where they're looking in the screen. That has also been helpful. There are some also web based. Web camera based eye trackers that help you understand where the learner is looking at on the screen. So a screen capture along with the voice capture helps you a lot. But if you're not using a laptop, you're using maybe pen and paper based
Yeah,
study,
right,
something
right.
like that, it will be helpful if the camera pans over the activity that the learner is doing, so that you know why the learner has paused. Sometimes you'll just find pause for like 10 seconds, 15 seconds. You don't know what the learner is doing, but maybe the learner is probably writing. I mean, it's very difficult to do think aloud. It's a very cognitively heavy task to do, along with a very difficult activity that you'll be doing. So, yeah, we have to be mindful. So, I would suggest have camera placements on the activity that they're doing, as well as on the learner. And obviously, if this is intrusive data now, I would suggest you to make sure that you have ethics clearance for this. Otherwise, I mean, we may have some difficulty in handling this data.
All right. Thank you for that.
Good evening, Rama. My question is, uh, when we are having uh, data collection for the emotional state of learners, and how best we can administer a survey and get the true emotion, which is retrospective of a learning activity that they have done, or on that day's overall emotion. Next challenge is each emotion, since it is very dynamic, how we can throughout a day, if in a sense it may fluctuate, but they can think over cognitively and say, I felt really tired, frustrated, I felt very enjoy, like that. How we can consolidate, help them to consolidate, will it bring out the true experience?
Okay. So, Felix, let me paraphrase a little. Okay, now you said a lot of things, but I'll only capture a few things that I heard properly. So, you're asking, you want to capture learners' affective states,
Yes.
in a retrospective manner.
Yes.
Okay, and you want to ask learners their, I mean, okay, what they were feeling like, or something like that, after the activity as a whole, or in between the activity at certain points that you mark.
Yes.
At certain points that you mark.
Yes.
Okay. And what kind of activity are these learners doing?
Some are having self-directed learning, some are having a lecture-based learning, and some are having blended mode learning.
Okay, so it's not possible for you to make them sit down at one place, do the activity, record it, and then later ask them to look at the recording, and that's not possible again.
Not possible, because they are completely adult learners, and spread across different locations.
Okay, okay. Pankaj, would you like to add some?
Yeah, I just posted in chat. Maybe you can check situational interest or situational engagement measurement instruments. So what basically they do is, so if you can put some markers beforehand and you ensure that once that event or activity happens, then a survey will pop up and there will be 3 4 questions, 2 or 3. It should not be like very like 20 30 questions, asking about in that point in time what, how was the interest or how was the engagement or whatever you want to measure, right? So basically these are the two constructs which are like largely measured. So it's a situational measure. So once you are working in the activity, working on the activity, in the same time you are asking learner to tell what, how are they feeling, right? So situational interest or situational engagement measurements can be used. That is one possibility. Another possibility is, if they are like in the same location, observations can be done, and then you can have some observation protocols for engagement. Third possibility is, maybe you can also do interviews, right? So if you have, let's say, some specific activities where you want to understand across participants how engagement looks like in a blended setting, in-person setting, or maybe off online, completely asynchronous setting. So in that case, you can have some questions framed, which will allow you to understand their feelings in greater depth. So if you design your questions in that fashion, you'll able to get some insights in terms of how were they feeling about it. So that is like a stimulated recall. But for that, you need to have some markers beforehand, which are in place, and you know this is where I want to understand what they were thinking or how they were feeling and all of that. So these are few ways in which you can do it. But blended and all of that you have. So trace data, like we were discussing, log data. So all those things you have, but then you have to see like across different contexts how you would combine the whole thing, because you can't do like in one setting you collect trace data, in another setting you collect interviews, in third setting you do something else. Then making sense of all of that together as a whole would be very tough. So try to keep the measurements as uniform as possible.
Also, Pankaj, do you suggest Debbie?
No, I was thinking, but yeah, I mean, that is something that can be done. But if it is like video based, then there is a tool that I had developed called Teacherly, which captures cognitive affective states of the students in real time. So it's a voluntary self report, anonymous, and all of that. So if students are watching the video, there is an interface where they can provide feedback on these four variables along with the reasons behind it, right? So this is a tool which is already developed, but it works right now only for video lectures. So if you have this kind of things, then it can be incorporated. I'll just post it in chat, the tool and maybe the link as well. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
I just had one more doubt.
Yeah,
Can I
Mary.
ask? Yeah. So when we use these validated questionnaires, so we cannot make any tweaks on that, right? I mean, they are used as it is, exactly as it is, or in case there's something else we want to measure over and above that, whether we can.
You cannot. In fact,
Okay.
if you have a questionnaire of say 10 items and you plan to ask only 5 questions, even that's not recommended, because those 5 questions may not capture the overall essence of those, the initial idea of the questionnaire that was designed. So you cannot tweak the questionnaire. But if you think the questionnaire is not capturing something that you want, then you can look for additional questionnaire that captures that thing. So more than one questionnaire is all right, but
Okay.
don't tweak the questionnaire, existing ones. Then you'll have to answer why you did it, and you have to also ensure that all the validity, reliability issues that come with it.
Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you, Romana.
If you're looking at the MSLQ questionnaire, okay,
Uh,
then are you?
Yeah, I had that in mind, but I had some other things also like as my things to measure. So probably that alone may not like satisfy what I desire. So
So it's a huge questionnaire. I understand there are some 80 questions and you cannot ask all 80 questions. So there is a research study. I can send you the paper after the meeting, wherein they have chunked the questionnaire into some specific, you call, into some specific smaller questionnaires and tested the validity and reliability of this smaller questionnaires also. So that if something of this sort exists and someone has already tested it for validity and reliability, you can use it. But you on your own tweaking, we wouldn't
okay,
suggest.
okay, okay, that would be great. You can just share it with me, Romana. Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you.
I would just like to add one thing, which Romana rightly said. Some questionnaires allow you to take out subscales. Okay, so let's say MSLQ will allow you to take out one subscale, and you can measure only that thing. So that is a possibility. So in case of MSLQ, learning strategies is one, motivation related. There is another part of the questionnaire, right? So you can choose motivation, learning strategies, but within learning strategies, you can't kind of pick and choose and saying only these questions I'll ask. So that is something that you have to look at, right?
Okay, okay.
So MSLQ might give you a lot of flexibility, but not all questionnaires will be definitely will be able to do with that.
Okay, fine. All right. Thank you so much, Pankaj.
Pankaj just shared the link to Teacherly. You can use this link if you are planning to capture cognitive affective data, Felix.
Yeah, thank you. Now I am registering in TechLV beta version. So what sir has shared, I will just. Thank you very much.
So, Pankaj, there was a question about worksheet or sample data to work with. Do you know any good, or do you know any resources where they can, just for practice, or any good
Yeah,
website?
so what can be done is there are some databases online right? So they are like for social science studies, but some of the social science studies are in the context of education. Okay, so you can go through some databases. I can share some links. So if you find some study which is related to education, you just see like it is somewhat similar to what you are trying to do. In that case, maybe you can use that data set for practice and all of that. So I think that kind of thing I can do, where I can share some database links and they can go through it, and if they find some relevant study, using that data set they can practice.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I agree. You can provide us the link and we'll upload the same on Moodle. And if anyone is interested, they can go through the links. Thanks, Pankaj. Okay, we can take one last question maybe, and we'll disperse for the day. Yeah, I think we are good. We don't have any questions. So thank you everyone for yeah, for attending to today's live session. We'll see you again soon. And yeah, be active, submit your assignments, and you'll also receive some feedback from us. Thank you. See you soon. Thank you, Pankaj, for being available.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye bye.
Rumana, Vidya is staying back because
Yeah,
we
yeah,
want to
yeah,
speak
yeah.
to her, right?
Also, Sadia, can you stop the recording? I think you can stop the
Uh,
recording.
yes, yes, I will.
Yeah, thank you.